Magician's Companion, a practical encyclopedic guide to magical and religious symbolism, by Bill Whitcomb. Model 7, Latifah, the Path of the Sufi. Sufism is a diverse tradition of Muslim mysticism and gnosis, consisting of a number of different orders of tariqas, pathways. All Sufi orders, however, trace their origins back to Muhammad, his companions, and the tradition of asceticism, contemplation, and devotion in early Islam. Modern Sufi orders are distinct but interact freely, often holding common practices and honoring the same saints. In all orders, admission is dependent upon sponsorship and initiation. The name Sufi was not actually used until around the 8th century. Some believe the word is to be derived from suf, or wool, referring to the rough garments worn by Sufis. Others derived from a mantra constructed phonetically for its spiritual effects. The Latifah, subtle faculties or organs, are remarkably similar to the yogic chakras. Though the Latifah are not correlated with the physical body as chakras are, each Latifah is associated with a world, an aspect of the macrocosm, a part of the subtle body, an aspect of the subtle body. As the arc of descent, the parts of the subtle body are thought of as the arc or ascent, or the journey or return. The Latifah can also be related to the 4 gardens of paradise, similar in some ways. The Latifah, subtle faculties or organs, are remarkably similar to the yoga chakras, though the Latifah are not correlated with the physical body as chakras are. Each Latifah is associated with a world, an aspect of the macrocosm, a part of the subtle body. As the arc of descent, the parts of the subtle body are thought of as the arc of ascent, or the journey or return. The Latifah can also be related to the 4 gardens of paradise, similar in some ways to the 4 worlds of the Hebrew Kabbalism, and the stages of initiation and experience on the Sufi path. The 4 gardens serve both as philosophical metaphor and as imagery used in pathworking or astral travel. See in glossary: Ain, Allah, Baraka, Fana, Garb, One Mutlaq, Latifah, Makom, pathworking. See also Model 28, a scheme of creation. Suggested reading: Oriental Magic, Idris Shah, Islamic Sufism, Idris Shah, The Way of the Sufi, Idris Shah, Sufi Expressions of the Mystic Quest, Layla Bakhtiar, Early Mysticism in the Near and Middle East by M. Smith. The 7 Latifah, stages of ascent and descent according to Allah Dualwa Simnani. The arc of the descent, macrocosm, Alam Tabi'at, the world of the nature and man. The arc of ascent, microcosm, Latifah Kalibia, the atom of one's being. Additional associations: the mold of the body, the center of physical form. Color: black moving to dark, gray. Planet: Saturn. Arc of descent, the macrocosm, Alamai Surat, the world of forms. Arc of ascent, microcosm, Latifah Nafsiya, the Noah of one's being. The additional associations: the vital senses, the animal soul, center of passions and desires. Color: blue. Planet: the moon. the arc of descent, the macrocosm. Alam I Mana, the world of spiritual perception, the arc of ascent. Latifah Kalbiya, the Abraham of one's being. Additional associations, the spiritual heart, the true eye, center of supra-consciousness. Color, red. Planet, Mars. The arc of descent, Alamai Malakut, the world of imagination. The arc of ascent, Latifah Syria, the Moses of one's being. Additional associations, the secret, the point of edge of supra-consciousness, center of spiritual monologues. Color, white. Planet, Jupiter. Arc of descent, Elamite Jabarat, the world beyond form. Arc of ascent, Latifah Ruhaya, the David of one's being. This additional association, the spirit, the vice regent of God. Color, yellow or gold. Planet, the sun. Arc of descent, the macrocosm, Elamai Lahut, divine nature. Arc of ascent, the microcosm, Latifah Kafiya, the Jesus of one's being. Additional association, inspiration, the center that announces the name. Color, luminous black. Planet, Mercury. Arc of descent, macrocosm, Alamai Hahut, the divine essence. Arc of ascent, microcosm, Latifah Hakika, the Muhammad of one's being. Additional association, the truth of one's being, the universal prototype, one's divine center or eternal seal. Color, green. Planet, Venus. The four gardens of paradise. The garden of the soul. Fountain and other imagery. The fountain of spirit with the waters of life. Main principle, intuition guided by intellect. Additional associations, the world of sensations and outward appearances. Related word in Hebrew Kabbalah, Asaya. Garden, the garden of the heart, the world of symbols. Fountain and other imagery, fountain of life, with the waters of immortality. Main principle, intellect, illuminated by revelation, knowledge. Additional association, none. Related word in Hebrew Kabbalah, Yetzirah. Garden, the garden of the spirit, the world of archetypes. Fountain and other imagery, fountain of knowledge with the waters of truth. Main principle, knowledge illuminated by the spirit. Additional associations, reabsorption in the light of Muhammad, the Logos, verge of union with the secret. Related world in Hebrew Kabbalah, Bria. The garden of the spirit is divided into the lower garden and the higher garden. The lower garden, the roots of the tree of knowledge, contain the prophets of one's being, the seven subtle forms which correspond to the Latifah and the planets. The higher garden, also called the garden of refuge, contains the fruits of the tree of knowledge. The two gardens are separated by the trunk of the tree. The garden of essence, light, the world of the absolute. Fountain and other imagery, fountain of knowledge of the unity of being. Main principles, the masculine and feminine principles uniting beyond manifestation. Additional associations, loss of all trace of individuality, rebirth in the knowledge of the unity of being. Related world in Hebrew Kabbalah, Atzilus. Associated stages of the Sufi path. Degree of initiation. Muridi, discipleship. Goal, dedication of self to the Sufi path. Stage of activity, accepted by a master as a disciple on the Sufi path. Associated garden, none. Degree of initiation, tarakat, potentiality. Goal, dedication to the oneness with the spirit of the sheikh or murshid, the spiritual leader of the order. Stage of activity, practice of the seer. Lawful magic, resuscitations and spiritual exercises performed by the permissions of the sheikh. Associated garden, garden of the soul. Degree of initiation, the arif, knowledge. Goal, achievement of unity with the spirit of the peer, founder of the order. Stage of activity, stage of the safarullah, journey into knowledge. The practice of thaumaturgy. Spiritual power is projected into the seeker's mind by the sheikh. Associated garden, the garden of the heart. Degree of initiation, the fana, annihilation. Goal, the summit, achievement of spiritual oneness with the spirit of the prophet. Stage of activity, stage of safarli Allah, travel away from neglectfulness. Practice of solitude and concentrated meditation. Accomplishments of karamat, wonders, absorption in God. Associated garden, garden of the spirit. Degree of initiation, the baka. Goal, degree of wali, saintship. State of masaviyat tarafain, equiposed between the two forces. Stage of activity, stage of safar bila, the return to the ways of humanity in order to guide humanity. Associated garden, garden of essence. Note, the tables in this article were primarily derived from the material in Sufi expressions and the mystic quest by Laila Bakhtiar. Magician's Companion, Model 7. The Seven Latifah and the Path of the Sufi, read by Wavy Frequency.